Hello, this is Lisa Russell,
And Misty Lore.
and this is a podcast. We are all psychic, and we have the Oracle Sisters, Trinity Oracle Sisters here today. I almost called them the Oracle Sisters again. That's what I called them in the email, I think. But they are the Trinity Oracles, and right now we just have two of them. A mysterious third one will appear. There actually are three, but right now there's two. And when
Yes.
we become three, we'll have fabulous things happen. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Oh, yes, I'm Erica.
And I'm Candace.
Candace, I would like to ask you a question. And Misty, would you want to ask Erica a question?
Sure.
You go first.
Okay. Erica,
Yes.
do you believe that we are all psychic?
Yes. Absolutely.
Why
Yes.
is that?
I believe we are all psychic because everyone is born with intuition. It doesn't matter. You can follow your intuition if you want. You don't have to, you can follow if you want or follow it. But everybody has a feeling that, they know what they should do. I'll say that
Yeah.
that's a psychic sense.
It is.
So
I
I think that's
agree.
we're all psychic. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Candace, do you think we're all psychic?
I do believe that we are all psychic. I think since there's like the types of psychics, like the 4 or 5, or probably like 6 or 7 now.
We talk about clairs.
Like types of players. There's more than just the 4 that people know of. I think that we all are born with it. We just some people are stronger than others, and some people have not tapped into it. They're kind of like on the baby steps. They're like, oh, I feel something, but I don't know what that is. I don't know what to call it.
Mhm.
Or in different cultures and different religions, it's called something different. So when you just say psychic, some people go, oh, that's bad, even though in their language or their religion it's psychic, but it's in their language or the word.
Right.
So I think we're all psychic.
Yeah, that the word exists and it has been around so long is kind of interesting, and it's actively used and everybody knows what it means. That says a lot.
No, it's true.
Yeah. Thank you for those answers. That's great. So, listeners, and we wanted to let you know that they had written us a couple months ago, and I'm so excited they are here. They are going to tell us about how they became, how did you guys, how did you grow up in family? Like they're sisters. So did you grow up together in a family like this? Were your parents at all into this stuff or family members, anybody?
No, we grew up in a religious household, and basically, like everyone in our family is pretty intuitive, I guess you would say, but no one says they're psychic. But then we all had weird, experiences, and then we grew up, we're like, oh, wait a minute, we're psychic.
Did you talk about it to each other and just kind of figure it out, or did you
No, we didn't no, actually we didn't until we were like in our 20s, probably. We were like, oh, that happened to you too? You had weird dreams too? And then we started talking about it.
You were in your 20s, really? That late? My God.
Yeah.
Why did you guys keep it from each other so long? Because you didn't know what it was, or
We didn't know what it was. And also, like, when you do talk about stuff like, oh, I saw this or this, people are like, are you crazy? So we're like, okay, we don't want people thinking we're weird.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep it to ourselves.
Yeah.
And you all got along pretty well growing up, all three of you? Or?
Oh, yeah.
So it's so strange. I understand that because I know whenever I had anything going on, I didn't talk about anything that popped into my head, especially when it started getting like 12, around 12, age 12, I think is when it really started getting the empathy, like was I didn't know what it was. And I just do not tell people these things. Do not go crazy.
No, it's true. That's happened to me when I was in high school, I think, maybe 9th grade or something like that. That's when I started, like, my psychic abilities opened up. I thought I was actually going schizophrenic. I used to start hearing voices. When I was meditating, I'm like, I must be crazy. But then I noticed it only happened when I was meditating. So I'm like, I can't be crazy. Right. So I didn't talk about it.
There's a lot of research where schizophrenia and mediumship have been closely linked in science to be the same thing.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. I was like, I just learned how to shut it off, I guess. I told them to leave me alone.
Well, the article I had read, I think I've talked about it on the podcast, but the article I read was that they did a study with mediums and schizophrenics, and they found the difference, really the only difference between their quote unquote symptoms was that the mediums enjoyed what they experienced and had positive experiences. People diagnosed with schizophrenia had negative experiences and didn't like it. They didn't relate to it as themselves, as part of themselves. So that's interesting. And some of these scientists continue to work with the mediums to learn from them. After the article, they summed it up with that. I thought that was kind of neat.
But they didn't mention the fact that mediums can shut it off and schizophrenics can't. That's like the most important part.
I do have schizophrenia and I do take medication for it, and I can't turn that part off. I can't. I have to take medication for it. But I also have but when I took the medication, when I finally got the right medication, they like separated for me. They like I knew what was real and what was imagination.
Fascinating.
Happened. It helped so much. It was like a whole new world. I was like, whoa, this is what other people have. And it wasn't though yet. Quite exactly. Because I was still having the psychic impressions. I was so glad they were still there because I didn't know if it was real or not. The psychic too,
That's interesting. That's highly interesting. Huh?
It was weird. Yeah, I couldn't tell the two parts. So, So tell me about like when you did tell each other. How did that go? How did you guys just like really get excited, or were you scared to tell each other? Or
well, it started with our older sister Jasmine. She actually started reading not tarot card. What do you call it?
She wrote
the player's deck. Like you in the casino, like those regular decks.
Yeah, there's playing cards. Yeah, just playing.
Yeah, she started just playing with those, and then she got into it. And then I got into it, and then Candace got into it, and then we all noticed that we could easily read the cards, like super easily, and that's how it started. And then we used to start sharing our stories about like stuff that happened to us in the past. We're like, wow, and that's how it happened.
Did she learn a tarot deck and then teach you with a card deck, or did she learn with a card deck?
She just started channeling really easy.
That is fascinating. I think the channeling is fascinating. I've actually interviewed some of the Instagram channelers.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and then like someone asked me to read cards one time. They just pulled the deck, and I was just like, "Oh, that means this, this, this." And they're like, "Oh, that's accurate." And I was just like, "I don't know where I got the information, where it just came to me."
That's how Misty is. That's how she works too. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah,
so cool. And then, so you guys work together. You want to tell the listeners about, if they probably know, but if they don't know, you want to tell them about where y'all are and what you do?
We do mainly on we do both personal readings, and then we do celebrity readings. So if you go on our YouTube, type in Trinity Oracles, we have a lot of celebrity videos where we do predict a lot of stuff about celebrities. We also have our Instagram. We have our we actually teaching people how to read cards, because everybody, they're like, how do you guys get so accurate? How do you guys so accurate? We're like, okay, we did it for you guys, so you guys can learn. Yeah. So you guys can get connected to your spirit guides. So you learn how to actually pick the correct deck, because not all decks are created equal. And that's what we just started. We started on YouTube. We have over 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we do like usually once a week we'll do a video about like a hot topic that's going on in the celebrity world. And we predict things that come out accurate. We have a list of correct celebrity predictions, and people come back like, "Wow, you guys said that. You are legit psychics."
Cool. We don't know anything. You have a running tally. That's really good.
We don't even remember. We don't watch celebrities. We don't care about celebrities. We don't care what they do. Then people are like, "Shit! I mean, shoot, you guys are accurate." So we have a list of correct predictions, and then people get personal readings based on us being correct about celebrities' lives that we don't care about.
Brilliant! That's a great business plan. That's brilliant. It must be fun. I mean, it must be fun. Yeah. You don't have to do it when you don't hurt anybody when you do that reading. If you have a sad topic come up, so, it's like you don't hurt anybody. You know what I mean? But like sensitive readings can be really sensitive, and if you go into it from the perspective of doing a reading for these people that are already out there exposing themselves, as actors, and letting themselves be vulnerable, and then that way, I think being an actor, what you guys are doing, having 10,000 followers, that's just insane. It's putting yourself out there and being what you do. As far as I'm concerned, that's just as like amazing as the actors themselves. They're huge and make they do it.
Our website's trinityoracles.com, and like I said, we do personal readings. Jasmine does energy work. She does soul releases and angel recharge sessions, and I do pet readings.
I love it.
I love all sorts of fun.
So tell me about like some of your methods. Like if you do teach people like how to read cards, like where do you start with that? How do you start teaching them that?
Well, it first starts off with choosing the right deck. A lot of people just go on Amazon. They're like, oh, well, this psychic on YouTube, they got this deck and they're accurate, so I'm going to choose the same thing, but that's not how it works. Yeah. So we teach you literally from the bottom to the top, and then we teach you what type of psychic you are. Like, where do your answers come in at? Because a lot of people think that being psychic is just seeing out of the third eye, but no, you could feel answers. You could hear answers.
You could know.
And you can know. And a lot of people don't know that. So we teach them basically from the ground up. How to protect yourself during readings. That's also important.
That's very important.
Because a lot of people, because the people like, oh, I see visions. They sit there and try to come up with visions. I'm like, that's not your dominant clair. And they end up not growing their psychic ability because they're so focused on trying to grow something that's not maybe supposed to be for them.
I love this topic.
Or they may be like seeing visions might be too much for them.
And they can't handle it. Good point there. Yeah, and you really can help them like sort through what they did and the protection of during the pod. We've never done that podcast before. So, Anna, if you got some advice for how to protect ourselves during giving a reading or receiving
we have that all in our Oracle Card Readers Academy, like how to protect yourself during readings, like how to cleanse yourself. We have like everything. We covered everything in the course.
Yeah, for beginners. So it's a beginner friendly.
All right. Can you give us like one beginner friendly technique maybe that could be useful to our listeners?
Man, a beginner friendly tip, one that to me is most important is learning what type of psychic you are. To me, that's the most important, because I thought being psychic was seeing visions and stuff like that. But for me, I'm a big feeler. I'm more clairsentient. Okay. And so before I thought when I would see a person,
use your strength.
Yeah, I use my strength. I thought it was just me being judgmental. I'm like, oh, this person, they're like this, this, and this. But then when I really was like, okay, let me pay attention to that feeling, I was accurate in what I was feeling. So
you put the words to the feelings. Yeah. Did you have a hard time finding the words at first, or would they come pretty easily? What you're feeling to explain what energy.
It was yes and no, because sometimes I don't know, just sometimes it wouldn't come clear to me. Like they would say something and I'm like, oh, maybe they're just telling me what I want to hear. You know what I mean? And then I would kind of sit with myself a lot of the times, and I would like be around people and I'm like, is that me just projecting, or is that who they really are at a soul level? Yeah, so I had to learn that. Sometimes the hard way, but
I did too, and I still am. It seems like that's one of those things, like in my thoughts getting in the way. That's when I remember readings, actually.
Yeah, and a good beginner tip is also having the right deck, because some people do choose the wrong deck, and
they might think they're done. They should never try.
Yeah, because we had a client. She's like, I've been trying to read cards for years. She took all these courses that took her like months to do, and she's like, I still cannot read cards. She got the deck that we got, and now she has a side hustle reading card. And she goes, I can read them so easy. And people are like, you're so accurate. And it was just the wrong deck she used the whole time.
Wow.
She must have been so happy that was found out. Yeah.
Oh yeah. She said she's a side business. Side business now.
Side business. Yeah. Misty, did you have a question?
So how do you find the right deck?
You have to find it. Number one, you have to use your intuition. Like whatever you're being pulled to. Like some people are pulled towards tarot cards. Some people pulled towards oracle cards. Sometimes you'll go into a metaphysical store and like something will just keep catching your eye, and that deck is probably for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then some people try to fight it, like, oh, I don't want this card. I'm like, that. Yeah. Wait, what?
Actually fall off the shelf.
She did.
And I'll be like, okay, I get it. I'm buying this deck. Okay.
Yeah. And then also, people should not buy used decks either.
I've heard that too.
Why is that?
We received that you shouldn't buy used decks because they said some people think they have completely cleansed the energy when you really don't know what that person did. They might have put complete witchcraft on it and you thought they're cleared, and you're sitting there channeling some evil entity or something like that.
And or they might have wiped their butt with it.
It's true.
I don't know what's on that card.
Yeah. So you should always buy like a brand new deck. Yeah. So always buy a new deck.
That's good advice.
Some people who I know will collect old decks. Not many. I've always heard most people, I don't want to touch that. And I have that feeling like someone else's, But I have heard some witches will like sage, like, witches will be into like cleansing and healing the deck. I had a friend redraw all over the card and illustrate this deck that had been with a person. And she colored it different colors, kept the same images, and then cleansed it with sage and all kinds of things. She used it for a long time. So some people really
might have worked for them.
Kind of an energetic restoration.
Yeah.
Have y'all had an experience like that before?
Of connecting with the deck or not connecting with the deck?
No, of buying a deck, a used deck, and having like something like that happen.
Oh, I've never bought a used deck.
I've never bought one, but I've had clients who said that they bought used decks before and they said they felt sick.
Probably.
Like nauseous.
Yeah. She said like she felt drawn to them, and then she started reading them. She's like, I felt dark energy in the room, and then she goes, I felt sick, and she's like, I had to like throw them out, but she's like, I feel like I have to burn them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
she just tossed them out like
Yeah,
immediately.
then they got
but-
burned. Yeah.
Yeah, then they got crushed. So hopefully burned somewhere out there. So yeah.
No, okay. I know that you said that you were when you first started, you said you were meditating and then you started to hear the voices.
Uh-huh.
So what made you to even decide to meditate in the first place that young? Like who taught you that?
I was actually just reading a lot of random books about metaphysical stuff that I was drawn to, and I was like, let me just try meditating. I really loved it. It was very relaxing. I actually read the book Ask and It's Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks, I believe.
Yeah, I've read that before.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. And that's why I started meditating because, she said so. And it worked. It worked. So, yeah, that's why I started meditating. And I did start hearing voices like her. And then I started doing like the scribbling. I think she channels like writes sometimes, but I do that too.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you find it easier to talk channel or write channel?
Write channel, but actually both. But I like to write because when I write channeling, I don't think at all. It's like my mind's a clear slate and they're just writing for me.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You do that.
Wait, sorry.
Like automatic writing, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, automatic writing, yeah.
How do you even start to do that? Like,
I wondered that too with the channeled messages. How do people just start doing it?
How do you do that?
What I do is honestly, all I do is write their name on a piece of paper, and I just ask, like, what messages do you guys have for me? I ask my spirit. We work with our spirit guides and angels. Like, what message do you have for this person? They'll just be like, change your diet, stop smoking, break up with him, get a dog, like stuff like that. And then I tell the person, like, I pre-channel for you. If anything's resonate, and they're like, oh my God, I need to do all that. I've been thinking about all that. So that's how it happened.
Did you say you work with our angels too?
Yeah, we work with spirit guides and angels.
I love my angels. That's my thing.
Yes. In our course, we teach you how to connect with your spirit guides. That's like the number one important thing that people are missing when they're like trying to read cards or channel or whatever. We're like, you have to connect to your spirit guides and angels, and that's the connection you're missing. So we teach them in less than 5 minutes. A 5-minute meditation we created to connect with your spirit guides. And people are like, oh my God, like I finally heard my spirit guides. Like you get their name, you start to communicate with them, and
that's
I love
great.
it.
And it's less than 5 minutes, and people meditate for years to hear spirit guides or feel them or, get some kind of connection, and they get in less than 5-minute meditation.
That's just really great. Is that meditation on YouTube that people can listen to? Do you do it with them?
It's in our Oracle Readers Academy course.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and you can do it as many times as you want, but people love it.
I bet they do. That would be 5 minutes. Wow. Yeah, I've never been able to
they can actually learn something in 5 minutes. Who didn't love that?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, seriously. Yeah, people love it.
So I'm kind of curious. I one of my spirit guides is just talking to me, and she says, just ask them about scrying. She says, one of you 3 scries, like, look at a picture and see stuff. Do any of you do that? Because she's saying one of you does. You're looking to a crystal ball. That's like a traditional way of scrying.
I don't do that. I mean, Jasmine looks at people and she can read. Jasmine watches. If you ever watch TV with Jasmine, Jasmine reads people on TV all the time.
That's
we watch.
Saying.
Yeah,
she's
that's what she does.
Jasmine. She says that was.
Yeah. Like you would be like laughing. We watch reality TV shows like 90 Day Fiance, and Jasmine would be like, he's full of it, and next thing you know, like she'll just sit there and read them, and then everything she says comes true. You can just look at them and tell.
I love it. I want to watch TV with you guys.
Yeah.
I told that we should do that like on a YouTube, like just sit there like a psychic Sam from watching reality shows.
Yeah,
they ain't gonna let us like
that would be fun. We all predict. What did they don't say?
They're an actor. They ain't real. They're an actor.
Yeah, we have to. One of us will sneaky like steal the script, and then pretend like know anything. We'll get everyone right.
That's funny. That's funny.
That would be really fun, though. It kind of reminds me of like where we could get some kind of cheesy old, like famous movie like Casablanca or something. Some old movie, black and white movie or something. Everybody knows. I don't know. People don't know those old movies anymore, do they?
No, I know. I've seen that. That's a good movie. I liked it.
Which movie?
The Casablanca.
Oh, Casablanca. Yeah, it's like a.
And Gone with the Wind too was really good too. It was
Oh
long,
my
but it was
God, that's
good.
my
Oh,
movie
yes.
right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
long movies. Tomorrow is another day.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So, what made you get the idea to have a YouTube channel and start doing this? Where'd you get the idea?
Spirit said that, to
They
be quite
did?
honest.
And
Yeah,
all
they said
three
get
of
a
them?
YouTube. Yeah, they said do a YouTube channel, do readings on celebrities, and that's how you'll get clients. And it was that
That's
easy.
so cool.
Yeah.
It's
That's
so
smart.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you guys help a lot of people in like all kinds of ways, not just your readings and your academy. I feel like there's a lot of like just that you are out there with so many people and telling them that they can do what you do is
That's true.
very happy because there's so many people out there who do not do that, who have the gifts that you guys do and the abilities you do. They
It's
separate
true.
themselves from their clients. They think of them as an audience, maybe, you know.
Ah,
And it seems like you guys don't have that attitude to me. It seems like you have this, you can feel, because you're so sensitive, you can feel all the individuals. I can feel people around me, and especially here where we live in Alabama, people don't
okay.
know the stuff. They're starting to learn a lot more. It's been more prevalent around here in the last 4 or 5 years.
Mm.
But before that, like people didn't know what was going on. That's why I didn't know until I moved away from Alabama. I figured out
Oh,
what
okay.
was going on with me. Yeah.
Mm.
I was in Phoenix, in Arizona, when I started
Oh,
words on
mm.
the internet, spirit guide. What's that? It's a spirit guide. I talk to those all the time. Spirit guide. I've never had that term, stuff like that.
Arizona's crazy. I've been there several times. It's like spirit shops everywhere, like Starbucks. Like they're everywhere. Like it's wild. It's true. Like Sedona. Like Sedona is like crazy spiritual shops, psychics everywhere.
I've been to Sedona. Sedona's great.
It's nice. Yeah.
Well, when I lived there, I was not happy. So whenever I went to Sedona, I think 3 times, and all 3 times I was absolutely miserable. One time I just left because I was in a real bad place, and people would tell me about the vortexes there being so powerful.
I
And
didn't feel anything.
they amplify your emotions. And I just wasn't accepting that I wasn't happy. I was just kind of keeping it to myself and not being honest with myself at the time. And it was letting me know. I didn't go back to the third time. I was like, I can't do anything about it. And it's like, yes, you can.
That's interesting. Yeah. Was it in Alabama? Was it due to like religion? Is that where you weren't exposed to?
So the religions don't really like any kind of metaphysical stuff. Like the more non-Catholic. There's some Catholics. I was raised Catholic here. And Catholics don't really care about if you're psychic or not. They don't really care. They don't say you can't do that, or they think it's great. It's a
Southern Baptist thing.
The Baptist.
Oh, it's a Southern
Baptist thing.
And then there's a lot of deep South. There's a lot of small churches in the South too, right, Misty, that are all kind of the same, but they have little differences, very subtle, but they're all kind of based on Baptist.
Yeah, they're all
right. And I think there's another one. There's Church of God's another one. There's a lot of their different ones. There's some like Pentecostal type religions around here, but none of them really like the psychic stuff. And if you want to ask my personal opinion, why? It's because a lot of those religions that I'm speaking of are about money. They're not about helping. They're building a community for money. The pastors live in mansions, with the cost $1 billion. I don't know. They to me,
those mega churches, man. The mega churches
to eat, and you're asking them for money, and it's just like feels wrong. So I think if they had people come in and say, well, you can have the same abilities and same touch with God that your pastor does. A lot of the religions here separate the people from God, just like those readers who separate themselves, like I guess, an audience. It's like the pastors, the preachers, they do not want their congregation to be close to God because he or she is usually he is the only one who can. And you have to ask him to get to God or divinity. Yeah. It's just not something I agree with. I agree that every single person can touch God's heart if you ask him to touch yours, or however whatever your creator or deity is. Want love from God, you just ask, right? Or you're and it just should be that simple. I don't think there should be that big of a separation. And I think they didn't want people to have any kind of empowerment, because then it would bring about a separation, and bring real values to the front, the values that we need, to be fed, have our bills paid, and our family, most of all, healthy,
It's true. And then we talk about that, or we've talked about that before, is like we grew up religious, and we used the cards, and we started getting answers from God, from our spirit guides and angels. And it's just like some people wait for the answer. They pray to God for years for an answer, for a sign. It's just like you can cut time if you go to a psychic, get a reading.
Yeah.
If you read your own cards, boom, should I leave my, should I get a new job? Should I, blah, blah. And you can just get the answers like that, and God's going to give you the answer to the cards. Everyone has their own personal connection. You might get it from a card. You might get it from whatever. What do you call it? Pendulum or something. But yeah, just save yourself. I always tell people, save yourself time. Just go to a psychic.
That's right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Your spirit guides will come through. Your guides will come through, because at the end of the day, God, your spirit guides, and angels want you to have the best life possible. It's usually always positive.
Yes, they do. They want you and everyone else who and loved, and even people you don't love, to have the best lives they can. That's why they ask. They want us to be compassionate. They want us to forgive, and not forget necessarily, but be open to, because it just bogs us down. Those people aren't bothered by us being upset by them.
Exactly. Yeah, and even if you get a negative, like most of our people, like we've had people like, I've never had a reading before. I've been waiting like 30, 40 years. Like I've been scared. And then we give them a reading and it was all positive. Like, wow, like I should have did this years ago. Like I could have saved myself so much drama.
Yeah, that's so true. That's a good point.
Yeah. I knew I shouldn't have married that man, or had a baby.
It really is a fear thing. Most people, even here, if they're offered a free reading, if they're afraid, they won't do it. They'll say the devil makes true what you
exactly.
Yeah, that's what I can't
believe it, but they aren't. They're curious, because actually, just recently, not too long ago, a woman contacted me on on the podcast page, and it's psychic readings by Lisa, and podcast and stuff. Oh, it's like a big old mess. But I need to separate my Facebook pages and make them different. But she wrote me and she says, I've always heard mediums are evil and bad, and she really wanted a reading, and I'm sitting here going, she's a medium. I could just tell she was working with in some way, and she wanted a medium reading. And I was like, wow, I can tell. I told her, do you know you are a medium? Do you have any idea that this happens to you? And she's like, yeah, but I thought it was evil. So she she was never educated, And so I did tell her this was normal and that was normal, and we just talked a little bit through Messenger, and then I never heard from her. So
wow. But I do believe they should start teaching children about their psychic abilities. I think children's lives would be start them early so that they can have a better life, and they won't be 18, 19. Confused about what I should do in my life.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, like I got him kind of reading cards, and what's funny is every time I read his cards, like every card that he picked, I make him pick it from the deck. Every one of them has to do with a child, and pure and innocent. And I mean, that tells you it's real right there. I mean, he picked it out, and what are the odds of that happening?
Exactly.
Yeah, I wish I would have done mine when they were younger.
They pulled a card for me one time, and it was really good. It was an oracle card, and when I read it, I think he was like 2.5. It was one of the first times I was at your house.
Yeah.
Real little, and he just this charming smile.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Yeah. They should start teaching that in school.
Misty,
Misty's
grandson had one of his classes has meditation in it, and he was in
in PE they were learning yoga, and that aspect they're learning how to meditate, through yoga.
She said he sat down, and she's like, "What are you doing?" What was he doing? He was like sitting in
meditating. Yeah, he was sitting down in the yoga pose. Yeah.
Exactly. That's fun.
That's good if they're open to that, because I had a friend recently said she went on a date with this guy, and she's like, "Oh, I do yoga every day," and he's like, "Oh, yoga's cool, I like the stretching," but he's like, basically, he thinks that. He was taught that yoga opens up portals, so certain poses open you up to the darkness.
Yeah,
right. And he believes that
he believes that, yeah.
That's kind of a shame that people believe that. I wonder who told him that or where he heard that. It must have been a church. It's the only thing I was thinking. Who would say that about yoga? I mean, it's exercise too. It's at the gym.
I also think it's important also to get readings like about your kids, like when they're babies, like help them guide them through life. Make their life easier, like push them into your baby's 1 year old, and the psyche might say like, hey, your kid has super bad allergy problems, get him an allergy test. That'll save you them hyperventilating one day.
Yes.
Your kid might be into robots or animals, and then you put them in the robots and animals, so their life goes super smooth because you help them get on the right life path.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And you can't, and parents, I mean, I told I raised 2 stepsons. They're men now. They did it. They grew up. But I always told them from day one of being stepmom, I was like, we don't know what we're doing. We do not know what we're doing. Just keep that in mind. I'll just keep it in mind. We are learning as you learn life. We are learning how to be parents. We're not going to be perfect, but we'll do our best. And I always reminded them of that. And my older one, I did teach cards and stuff too, but my younger one just happened to Chris. Although he loved the pendulum. He loved the pendulum.
Oh, okay.
He loved the pendulum. He was great at it. And he could see right. He could look in a crystal ball and see things and stuff when he was little.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he didn't know it was wrong.
Fascinating.
Not wrong, but not weird. He didn't know it was weird. We were in a new age shop and I said, "Here, look at this crystal ball." And he went, "I see a tiger. Now I see a monkey." So cute.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, they'll have it. I guess, maybe those my stepsons be a little different than a lot of people who haven't been raised around this kind of I didn't keep it quiet,
Yeah. Jasmine just joined us.
Drums beating.
Oh, Jasmine's here. Hey,
Jasmine's here. Hello.
Hey, it's great to hear you. We can't see you. Hey, we had an interruption, and it's a wonderful, exciting interruption. Jasmine's here.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Jasmine. I'm Lisa. That's Misty. And Misty has a question for you right away.
Jasmine, do you think that we're all psychic?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Without
a shadow of a doubt.
And why is that, Jasmine? Why do you think that?
I think psychic gifts were given to us from spirit, to protect us along the way. I mean, even at birth, a mother has intuition, like, I feel like the child's going to wake up, and boom, as soon as they wake up, the child wakes up a second later. And even that mom who doesn't dabble in cards, who doesn't dabble with crystals, who doesn't even believe in psychics at all, and they're psychic. Is there different levels of psychic? Yes, there is different levels. But I like to say intuition is different than psychic, even though it is psychic, but it's just like different levels.
Yeah, so, the terminologies are crazy. Yeah, you just
yeah.
I did this podcast name because I thought it was just really kind of fun, we were just talking about this on a podcast recently. I feel weird saying that I am a psychic. That feels weird to me to say, but I don't mind saying I work as a psychic. That's weird, but I don't mind saying I am a medium though. So it's kind of weird. I just like identifications and labels and names.
Yeah,
like a nice little new dictionary, like little about that thing. Like I about maybe 100 pages with a whole bunch of terms that people have been coming up with in the last 5 years, like download.
Exactly.
Like spirit. Most people, I never heard people say spirit spoke to me, and that was never something people ever said until probably around 2012 or 13, 14. I never heard people use that term all the time. Like they it's kind of, to me, it's a catch-all for all things you believe in that help you and are good and that love you. It said spirit included, of all of us together, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there's so many of those terms, and maybe you just need somebody to write that book or that little dictionary. Happen. So Jasmine, tell us about you. Like they told us that you guys didn't talk to each other about this until you were older, in your 20s. And you were the one to get everything kind of started with the playing cards. So how did that happen for you with the playing cards?
Oh, yes. So it's one of those stories, either you believe me or you don't. So I've always been like psychic. I've always known things. I've always been claircognizant. But in terms of the cards, it was the first time I ever heard. So I was in the 99-cent store and I was standing in line. And literally I heard, which I didn't know at the time, but now I know it's Archangel Michael, but I heard this big voice, "Buy those playing cards," which were just regular playing cards. I'm in line. I'm the only one who heard it. My mom is standing there. It's a long line. And I'm like shaking. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, oh my gosh. I hear again, "Buy those playing cards." Just like that. My hand is shaking. I'm like, oh my God, okay, I'm going to buy them. I'm going to buy them. So I bought them. I bought them. And then I get no other instructions. I get home and I'm sitting there like, what do I do with these cards? And I hear, "You can tell people's futures
with those cards. And I'm like, oh, shoot. So I go. And first I go and I look online and I'm like, telling people's futures with playing cards, what the heck? And that's when I found out what was cartomancy.
Cartomancy. I don't know how to say it either. I know I follow someone on Instagram named Carto Nancy, and that's the thing I always
and I never heard of it. And then for some reason, which was crazy, was I went to go start playing with the cards. I intuitively, it was like naturally gifted. I intuitively knew what those cards meant. I didn't even have to do research like, oh, this means this. It was just, I intuitively, boom, just knew what those cards meant. And I was able to do readings just like naturally, just boom. And then, I did research, do some more because I was getting stuck on what does a 9 of spades mean? Sometimes I would get stuck, like when it was a certain point.
No, don't stay there.
But that's how I got started.
That's really cool. And did they, when you were first doing, like when you first opened those cards up, did you just like look at, say, like just for example, the Ace of Hearts, and just kind of feel about that opening intuition and opening love, and just kind of feel something, or did you just know? Is it like,
I just knew. That's my dominant clair, is claircognizance.
That's how I am too. Claircognizance. That's how I work usually, mostly. Drops in. It's like, there it is. That's really cool.
Exactly.
They said you got them talking about their experiences, and then you compared notes. So weren't you excited? Were you excited that you finally took the step to tell them about it? And how did you feel when you did?
I was excited. It's just the Libra in me, like diarrhea of the mouth.
You got to get some other people in on this, right?
Exactly. Like,
That's so cool. So,
are you experiencing this too? And they're just like looking at me like.
That's so cool. I love that. So, what kind of stuff do they explain what kind of stuff they like to do and their specialties and stuff like that? What about you? So you're claircognizant. What other skills and abilities do you use and work with?
So I have actually all 5 of the clairs. So I have claircognizance, clairaudience. I'm just gonna go. I have clear hearing. I can hear, I can see, I can feel. Clear empathy. I also have clear tasting, so I can taste things. So sometimes I'll taste like a cigarette, and I'm like, oh, it tastes like a cigarette. And I'm like, does your uncle smoke? They're like, yeah, I smoke. Oh my gosh. I also do mediumship. It's not my strongest, but I do mediumship. I do have to see loved ones come through, and it's very accurate when I do my mediumship. I also do spiritual life coaching. I connect with ascended masters. I speak with spirit guides. I speak with angels. I do energy work.
I love the ascended masters. Tell which ascended master have you worked with more?
Mostly Jesus and Saint Germain. Those are the 2 that I have worked the most.
He's crazy.
That's just great. I love the
ascended so cool. But Saint Germain started with me first. Saint Germain started with me. Yeah, started with me like many years ago, and then Jesus came in later on.
That's so cool. Did they tell you who they were, or did you just know?
Saint Germain just started like popping up. I didn't just like know. He just like started popping up in different places, and I was like, what the heck? And then I ended up in what's that book? Peter Mount Shasta. You guys know Peter Mount Shasta?
No.
He's I think he talks about his story with like Saint Germain and stuff like that. Yeah. I don't even know how I got into Peter Mount Shasta's book, but anyways, so that's how I got there, and then ended up working with like Jesus and stuff. Those are the 2 main ascended masters that I've worked with.
That's just great. I love it.
And Jesus is not what people think he sounds like.
Now, please tell us, how does he sound? I want to know.
He's extremely straightforward, like very Capricornish.
Okay.
Like very straightforward, like get it together. Like what people think in the church he sounds like he does not sound like that at all.
Give me an example.
Like an example?
Okay, so let's say I'm asking Jesus right now, what do I need to do to better myself? What would he say?
He'd be like, you need to get up and start stretching. Like get a daily routine. Like he would say something like that. Like
Okay.
very straightforward.
Like
Or
right
he
to
will
the
tell you,
point.
get a
Yeah.
job.
Yeah,
He'll
he
be
would
like,
say, get a
he'll
job.
be like, you know what? Quit manipulating yourself. Get a job. You're sitting there not doing what you're supposed to. Like Jesus talks just like that to people.
Yeah, you're wasting your time on social media. You could be getting a job. You like me on your phone all the time. Get a job working for a phone company. Like very straightforward like that.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
Yes. Archangel Michael too. Archangel Michael, oh Lord Jesus. I say
He's my angel. That's my guy. I love him.
He
Like,
does
I'm
not
obsessed.
play. Archangel Michael said he's the angel of truth and he will give you the truth. Like I always tell people, uh-oh, Archangel Michael's here. Are you ready? And they're like, I'm like, he's here, he's gonna give you the truth. Like he's the angel of truth. He's not gonna play. And then I give it to him. They're like, oh my God. Oh my God.
That's true.
It is what he's here to help
It
you.
is.
If you don't want to accept the truth, you say you want the truth, you can't change your life unless you accept the truth. So
Yeah, you are so
it is what
right.
it is.
You can't change anything to accept the truth either.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So-
anytime I call Michael, like, and when I do, it's something serious. Like something evil's going on, and all I have to do is say his name, and it's just like, what? You know, you know. Okay, you take over, boy. You got this. You know,
Oh yeah.
and that's all I had to do.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
Trinity Oracles, where can the listeners find you and find your to give them your URL or your name? I'll put all this information in the description of the podcast, listeners. But if you want to give them your again, Trinity Oracles, I guess that would be it. Is it called something else too on your actual?
No, TrinityOracles.com. That's our website. And you can find us on YouTube. Just type in Trinity Oracles, and we have tons of videos from many years.
And there's lots of interviews. I think I saw like a few interviews with you guys. I can't remember. I remember I watched an entire one. I just thought y'all were so lovely. You have so much fun together. It seems. I wish I had a sister. But Misty, will you be my sister?
Yes, I'll be.
I have a sister.
We're both gonna get.
Guys.
Yeah, we have our Instagram and all that stuff on our website. What's our Instagram at Trinity Oracles?
Yeah, Instagram is at Trinity Oracles. Everything's just under Trinity Oracles.
Trinity
And then we have all our celebrity blog, our celebrity predictions blog on there, on our website, and then all our accurate predictions are on there.
And you can book your own personal reading on there. Everything's there.
I'll put all that information, listeners, in the description, like I said. And right now, I want to thank our sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app where you can get advice from psychics and empaths, so you can get the clarity you need, the life you deserve. Right.
Thank you.
Deserve.
You deserve it. And Missy just seems so. She seems.
She wants to cut.
So you need some Trinity Oracle. This is kind of specific to Misty, but we usually ask you to give advice to our listeners. So consider them too, if they may be like burdened by everybody else's everything and take care of everybody all the time and never take care of themselves. How can you tell them to allow themselves to do something for themselves and not feel guilty and turn off their phone while they're doing it?
Wow, that's a good question.
I don't know who you're talking to.
That's a great question. For some people, that's actually extremely hard to do. Like it's like a life lesson to learn how to just take care of themselves. That's a great question. You just have to be selfish and just do things for yourself. Leave your cell phone at home. Go take a walk by yourself. Go sit by yourself. Start taking yourself on dates.
I did that once, Misty, and it was a big. I went to have lunch by myself, and I had sushi, and it felt so good to do that.
Yeah, don't bring your phone. Just bring yourself and your thoughts. No phone. Leave it in the car or whatever at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could do that once a week. Yeah.
Everybody, listen. If you're like Misty and you take on everybody's everything for them and help them with everything, even energetically and physically and emotionally and mentally. Go take yourself out to lunch from the Trinity.
Yes.
Thank you very much, guys. We have loved having you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. This was so much fun.
This was fun. And then listeners, go check them out. We sure have, and we love them. And lastly, I want to thank you, Misty.
Thank you, Lisa.
And thank you, listeners. We love you, and we will see you soon, I guess. I don't know when we'll see you again, but it'll be soon. Love you. Everybody have a great day in life, everywhere you may be. Podcast again. I hope you are now realizing you're psychic and you will never find this again, but you'll remember that moment.
Remember
Oracles podcast.
It was.
Figured out I was Sure. Yes, it happened. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Perfect. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.